Hey guys, Shay with Owyhee. It's time for a market update for the first week of September, and I cannot believe I'm talking about September already. So what's the market today doing and looking like with onions? Well, let's start with super colossals and colossals, which are still in relatively tight supply and bringing a bit of a premium. I would call a super colossal 850 a colossal 8. Maybe 50 cents lower than that too, though. But it's about what you're going to see. A jumbo is, at least in Idaho, Oregon, is about $7. Certainly a few 50-cent discounts. I wouldn't think there's much more than that going on out there. There is some cleanup going on in California that seems to be affecting the pricing. And a few players in Washington that are really willing to discount their prices. I don't know if that's because of maybe some issues with Cedars. Certainly in California, it has to do with the fact that they want to clean up, they want to finish out, and an easy way to do that is to just lower your prices and get done. You know, why keep them up? Reds, you're going to see $6.5, $7.5 on a red, and I know there's a fair amount of variation there. Again, probably mostly 7. A medium, you're going to see 6, and I skipped medium yellows. Medium yellows are still bringing about $1 to $1.50 premium, probably closer to $1 premium over jumbos right now. So that puts them square at $7.5 to $8 a bag. Whites are kind of all over the board. $11 is probably the mostly on both sizes, and Mexico looks to be knocking on the door pretty hard for both reds and whites. So that will be helpful in bringing the pricing up on both of those items. In fact, the pricing is dependent on them, on the pricing. So let's switch over to the outlook. Harvest conditions are very good in the Treasure Valley and in the Northwest as a whole. We have great drying weather, drying weather for curing these onions down, and a lot of people will be prepping their fields and beginning the curing process this week and certainly within the next 10 days. What else does that mean? Well, there are a few challenges, mainly in the area of cedars or bolters. We had an uncommonly cold June at the 6-leaf onion stage, and that has had an impact on the amount of cedars that we have. We've got fields that are as high as 40%, which I've never seen in my career. There's always something that happens every year that's the first time in my career, I guess. And so maybe when I'm 50 years in, there won't be any more firsts. But for the guy who's 14 years in, this is the first time I've ever seen cedars with this kind of quantity and valley-wide. And that is going to have some impact on the onions later on. Right now, it's really not impactful. It's really not significant. It's really not even important. And it's really not going to have any effect on the quality or usefulness of your onions. But later in the year, it might rear its head. In fact, it will for sure in a few months when those centers get hard and woody and difficult to cut through and utilize. Export to Mexico, like I said earlier, looks good. And that is really kind of the outlook. I can tell you that freight is very challenging. Freight numbers and prices are the highest that we've seen for a few years, actually, especially stuff going southeast, but that includes stuff going northeast and even stuff going to LA and the Northwest. Overall, I'm not sure what the reason is behind that. I mean, obviously, it's supply and demand, and there's some things to consider with RailX doing what it is doing, or the closure of UP's Cold Connect in the Northwest, and that's meaning more trucks have to cover, the same amount of trucks have to cover more loads and have more options. So it is certainly have an impact on pricing. So that is my market update for the first week of September. I hope things are going well for you, and I'll catch you later.